We've been talking a lot about trade rumors, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins. I don't think we've really taken the time to acknowledge Steve Kerr's coaching this season. So that's what we're going to do on today's Warriors Today by Chat Sports video. I am your host, Allie Barefoot. There's some good to talk about Steve Kerr, for sure. He's a great coach. There's also some bad and some unknown for the future of Steve Kerr in the Golden State Warriors organization. But nonetheless, let's go on ahead and start it off with a life report from Jason Dumas saying Steve Kerr says he thinks his team has lost its spirit, confidence, and belief. That's just straight up sad to read about the Golden State Warriors, a team that once dominated the Western Conference, now sits in the 12th place, 13th place, 14th place. They're going down game by game at this point. They're 17-20, and overall, there have been some external factors with the Warriors roster, but you got to put some kind of blame on Steve Kerr, right? Because I think there are now reports out there that are showing that Steve Kerr might not even be safe, because we've been talking about Klay Thompson's contract extension all regular season, right? I think we're forgetting that Steve Kerr has not yet been extended in the Golden State Warriors organization, which is a little alarming, but his record right now isn't showing that they should even extend Steve Kerr. So here's what Shams had to say about the head coach, saying hanging over all of this is Steve Kerr's contract status as well. He's on an expiring contract, and there's no signs of a new deal as of right now for him either. So this Warriors team is teetering right now. And when you've got the head coach saying there is no confidence in our own locker room, it's kind of hard to look at Steve Kerr and give him a raise, give him a contract. But if you look at what he's done, we already know Steve Kerr is probably the best coach you can get for the Warriors right now. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's a 4-time champion with the Dubs. He's a 2-time NBA Coach of the Year, and he's in his 10th year of coaching the Warriors. And during those 10 years, he has done amazing things for the Golden State Warriors organization. However, there are some moving pieces in the roster that are not giving Steve Kerr the right resources he may need to be able to lead the team to another championship. But here's a question I don't think anybody's really asked is, would Steve Kerr even want to come back? I thought about this as a lot of NFL and college football coaches are retiring right now. Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, Nick Saban. And now you've got another future Hall of Famer coach like Steve Kerr, who's about to be 60 years old. It's making me wonder, is he just tired of it all? Well, Steve Kerr did have to say about the Warriors' confidence after the Pelicans loss, saying, as a coach, it's a delicate balance. When we're fragile like we are right now, I don't think that screaming and yelling at them is going to help. I'm trying to keep their confidence up. I'm trying to encourage them, but at some point, that may have to change. Steve Kerr is also having a hard time coaching this team because there's so many things going on. You have all-star players not playing up to all-star level. You've got a big on your team that keeps getting suspended and ejected, and he's going through counseling, and he hasn't even returned, not to mention Chris Paul and GP2's injury. I mean, it is just all tumbling down. So what are 3 reasons why Steve Kerr may not even come back? Klay's contract is expiring. He does not have a contract on the table right now, which means your big 3 might break up at the end of the year if the Warriors allow him to go into free agency. Green's career is, quote, on the line, per Steve Kerr. He's got maybe one more suspension. He already thought about retiring, and Adam Silver, the commissioner, had to talk him out of it. And then we got to remember Steve Kerr is playing MVP-level basketball right now, but he's also going to be 36 years old in March. How much longer does the MVP have to go? And would Steve Kerr want to coach a Warriors team without Steph Curry? I wouldn't personally, but this time last year, they looked like a whole different ball club. 21-21 was their record. They were 7th in the Western Conference. Now they're 17-20, and they're 12th in the Western Conference. And that can change. There's a lot of ball left to play. There's at least 50 games left to play. But the way that things have been moving for the Golden State Warriors on and off the court, it's hard to believe that Steve Kerr would want to come back and coach his team next year, especially if he doesn't get a contract extension. Is it time for the future Hall of Famer to leave the Bay Area? Has he done what he has needed to do in Golden State? And there have been numerous coaches that got kicked to the curb last season. I do not think that's going to happen to Steve Kerr. They'd be idiots to fire him. But maybe it's just time to Bill Belichick, New England Patriots, part ways. Type Y for yes, type N for no. And if you guys do want to take a little break before I break down some other interesting facts about Steve Kerr's season so far this this year. I do want to tell you guys about a sponsor here on Warriors Day, of course, that is Fanatics. And look, there is some fresh gear out there. And if you guys have been going to Chase Center and you've not really enjoyed liking how the Warriors are playing this year, it doesn't mean you still can't rep them. Doesn't mean you can't have the freshest gear out there, and thankfully, that's what Fanatics has. They have shorts, they have sweatpants, they have sweatshirts, hoodies, long sleeves, beanies, anything you guys need in the Bay Area to be able, you're repping that Golden State Warriors across your chest, they've got it. And what's even better, Chat Sports wants to hook you up as well. There's a 30% off hoodie on the website right now. I checked, all sizes are in stock. All you guys have to do is use this link down below. This Chat Sports link is going to give you a phenomenal deal, 30% off this hoodie. So look, even if you guys aren't happy with the Warriors record right now, doesn't mean you cannot rock the blue and gold. I would grab this hoodie if I were you guys, because looks like it's going pretty quickly. Once again, use that link down below to get 30% off this hoodie right here and rep your Golden State Warriors. Another tweet that came out from Sam Amico says, man, this is just a tough way to go out. The Warriors, as we once knew them, will soon be no more. Very soon. Can't imagine Klay will be back. Can't trade Draymond. Never would trade Curry. Kerr? It's a big fat question mark. So not only do you have a lot of question marks surrounding the big three, you got a big question mark surrounding your head coach. There's so many ifs, ands, or buts that could happen before the NBA trade deadline on February 8th or after it, after the season has played out. But Steve Kerr hasn't had the best season as a head coach, and I'll be the first to say it. He's a phenomenal head coach. I'm not questioning all of his tactics. But there have been some questionable moments where I'm like, what the F are you doing, Steve Kerr? Considering benching Jonathan Kuminga in the last 18 minutes of the Nuggets game when they lost. Another one was sitting hot-handed Moody against the Kings, which they lost. And then he keeps playing Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins despite shooting poorly. I mean, going 3 for 20, night in, night out. And it makes you wonder, Steve Kerr, what are you doing, man? I know you've had your ways in the past that have led you to championships. Now, I'm not going to question his coaching metrics. Who am I? But there have been moments where I know you guys have felt it, and I felt it too, and I'm telling you, none of these moments matter if the Warriors win. In any of those ball games, any of those questionable moments, if the Dubs have a winning record, if they are in the top 10 of the Western Conference, if they're over 500 right now, and they're all playing capable Warriors basketball, no one gives a damn how Steve Kerr is coaching. But because they're losing, and they're in the bottom 10, and they're under 500, Steve Kerr's got the spotlight on them now. And I think he should. I don't think they'd ever fire him. I don't think they should ever fire him. Steve Kerr is a phenomenal head coach. But there are sportsbook odds out there that now have Steve Kerr listed at plus 1,200. He's still bottom of the barrel of potentially being fired. Of course, Monty Williams, Detroit Pistons suck. Toronto, Chauncey Billups, not doing great. Steve Clifford and the Charlotte Hornets, obviously not doing great. Wes Unseld, Washington Wizards, I mean, come on. That's where Jordan Poole just went. We know they're not doing great. But now the Warriors are also in this conversation because they're not doing great. I think we can admit that now. So, the big question that is on my mind, I know it's on y'all's mind, will this be Kerr's last season with the Warriors if they have a losing season? They have not had a losing season under Steve Kerr. Probably 1 year out of the 10, I would say. I apologize, I don't know that exact stat, but I know that Steve Kerr has led them to numerous accolades, numerous championships. But if he loses, if they have a losing record and they end in 12th, the season were to end right now, the Warriors would be failures. Would Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors part ways? Comment why you think and comment why you do not think this could be Kerr's last season. While you guys are doing that, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. Let me know what you guys think, and we're going to provide you updates no matter what happens to Steve Kerr or any of the Warriors players. We're going to report about it right here on Warriors Today by Chat Sports, so hit that sub button for me.